ENBL. Ice in the veins. Ice, 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 ice in the veins. ENBL. Ice in the veins. Ice in the veins. Ice, 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 ice in the veins. ENBL, 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 ENBL.
What's going on, people? Welcome back to yet another pre-game show. My name is Mordzs, and I'm here with Javano. I was going to leave me hanging there. The biggest fan of Manchester basketball, and we're here to preview the game against Dinamo Zagreb in Croatia, another European game. I mean, Javano, just to start off and touch on kind of your experiences at Manchester basketball, you've been coming for a very, very long time. What would you say are the differences in the atmosphere, the intensity at these home games from Manchester?
We've nailed it.
Yeah.
We've nailed it. What's going on in Manchester now has not been done in a long time. I'm talking the second you walk into the car park, there's an energy, there's a vibe that makes you fully commit to this team.
Yeah.
It's like I said before, it's not just the star players of the actual athletes that we're watching. It's all the staff, the energy and the togetherness. It's to me, Manchester basketball is the definition of community.
No, I love that. I mean, look, obviously you're from Manchester, I'm from Manchester. It feels better when you're home and it's your home team, it's a local team, and it's like we're seeing progress year after year. We're seeing progress, and obviously I want to touch on this game. This is an away game. These kind of games can be hostile in these kind of environments, and you spoke about the differences between Manchester and Croatia. Do you feel like we almost need a little bit more aggression when these away teams are coming here, when we're going away, or do you feel like, you know what, this is how it should be, this is how Manchester basketball should be?
Listen, we're ready. I'm telling you, from what I've seen with these boys, and listen, I love Zach, Captain Zach, but listen, what I like to see with athletes and with a team is growth.
Yeah.
And you see Jordan
Johnson.
Jordan stepping up into something proper.
Big
The start
player.
of the season, he was a little bit nervous. You see that boy coming through with some magic at the moment. I'm really enjoying watching him play.
Yeah.
The young boy from Gorton,
Kayam.
Oh, Kayam. Jesus Christ. The passion.
KC.
I'm a massive, bro, I love passionate.
Yeah,
I love passionate teams. I love passionate athletes.
Yeah.
And the fans want to see passion.
Yeah.
When that young kid from Gorton comes on, and you see the passion in him, in his eyes, the way he walks, if his dunks, he's on it. And it makes me feel like a Super Saiyan, do you know what I mean? And I think all them boys have to do tonight is bring that same Manchester energy to wherever they go in the world. Yeah. And I believe that they can beat anybody.
I mean, look, what are your kind of, I guess, predictions for this season? Obviously, we've still got the domestic league, we've got the the SLB Cup, the SLB Trophy. I mean, what do you want to see from these boys going forward in the season?
I don't care if they don't win any trophies.
Okay, yeah.
I don't care if no silverware comes back to the club. All I want to see is the boys just playing the way they're doing with a togetherness and an energy that allows us to build momentum. I think sometimes with professional teams, and I've experienced it myself, there's too much pressure on silverware and achieving silverware. So if you don't win a trophy, it doesn't mean that the season's not been successful.
Yeah.
To me, the last couple of years, the fans, the attendance, the energy, the intensity, the passion, the memories, we are progressing beautifully. And as long as that happens, as a real fan, I think that's all I want.
That's good enough. No, I agree. I mean, obviously, I like silverware. I like silverware. We all want to see us win something, and hopefully we can do something, especially in Europe. And that's kind of what I want to touch on in this game, because I think playing in Europe, this is the first season that the team has played in Europe. A Manchester team has played in Europe, and we are doing kind of well. So I really want to touch on that. What does that mean for you if we can actually go and not just play well in our domestic league, but go out to these European teams and kind of show them what Manchester's about? Does that mean a lot more to you as well?
It means so much to me. One, because I'm from Manchester, but two, brother, fans want to feel proud.
Yeah.
Whether you're a long-time fan or whether you like my son, who's a fan from the last couple of years, you just want to watch your team and feel proud. So the fact that the boys are in Europe and they are fighting, they're competing. They're not. Listen. Like I said, I've been an athlete. I know what it's like to go into a hostile environment, and it can fold you as a player, and that then filters down into the team. Our boys are going overseas and they're competing.
Yeah.
They're standing up strong. They're looking people in the face. They're not turning their back. They're not running away. They're turning up saying, yeah, we're Manchester and we're here to compete.
Yeah.
And I think that makes you as a fan proud. I watched the games on the Zone and the boys are just competing and I'm just very proud of them. And I think that's all we want as the true fans, that to show that fight.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, look, that is Javeno's opinion on this pre-game show for Dinamo Zagreb. Hopefully the boys can get the win. Hopefully we can get the win, but we'll see you on the next one.
Hello and welcome into round 8 in the ENBL. We've reached the final week of the regular season and playoff seeding is on the line today as 7th placed Manchester Basketball travel to Croatia for a matchup against 3rd placed Dinamo Zagreb. Caroline Bullock here alongside BBL great Jason Swaine as we get ready to tip off in around 4 minutes time. So Jason, Dinamo coming into this game 6 wins and 1 loss, have won 4 out of their last 5 and their only loss was to Opava in December. They're on a roll at the moment, aren't they?
They are on a roll and they are firm favourites for this contest tonight. However, Manchester will be able to really test their mettle going on to the next stages, and with both teams in a really good commanding position, both teams already qualified, you know, it'll be a bit of a relaxing atmosphere and they'll be able to really solidify their I would say, standing at this point. So it'll be a good game.
And someone to keep an eye out for Dinamo, Delonny Hunt, playing in his first season for Zagreb, first season out of university. He's 2nd in the ENBL in points per game, dropping 23.6 and just under 7 assists per game. He's been huge for them.
Well, he has, and he's been the main reason to keep them ticking over, and especially at the guard position. He has the basketball in his hands a lot, and it's a real mirror matchup against Jordan Johnson at the other end, who I know we're going to get to in a little while. But yeah, Hunt is the man of the moment for Dinamo Zagreb.
And Zagreb coming off a win last weekend in the domestic league against Dubrava Zagreb, 99-97. So a close one, but came out on top. And we can see the starting 5s for Dinamo: Delonny Hunt, Emil Savic, Leon Bulic, Imran Pulatek and Mateo Vidovic. And if we take a look at Manchester, Jason, 5 wins and 2 losses. Had a win in the ENBL against Gimli earlier in January, won that 94-72. They're playing in their first season in the ENBL and it's been a really strong start for them.
Well, I think it's twofold, because Manchester and other teams that are playing in European competition, as we see the starting 5 come up on your screen there, they're able to gel as a team when you're on the road. You also can take that over into the domestic league, and as the season's gone on, they've got stronger and stronger, and the camaraderie on the team is there for all to see. So they've been able to build that family atmosphere by playing in Europe.
They certainly have. And for Manchester, Jordan Johnson dropped 16 points along with 4 rebounds and 3 assists against Bristol in the Super League last Friday, Manchester's last game. He's a player that's really found his rhythm recently for Manchester.
Yeah, and he'll be tested severely against Hunt today, as that's the key matchup. But Jordan Johnson, even coming off the bench, as he probably will do today, he is still an emphatic scorer, but he plays at one pace, his own. Whether it's fast or slow, that's what he decides, and without breaking sweat, Jordan Johnson can light you up.
And the starting 5 for Manchester Basketball will be PJ Smith Jr., Max Jones, Kayem Cleary, Tim Adatu-Cassie and Matt Nicholson. So as you said earlier, Jason, both teams have secured a playoff spot. Teams that finish in the top 8 will get home court advantage, and a win today would secure that for Manchester. And the ENBL maybe a little bit different to some of the leagues that people have seen, in that teams are only playing each other once throughout the group stages. You don't have that home and away. You've just got a one-off, one-game series. Yeah,
but whatever league you're in European basketball, the recipe for success is always the same. Take care of home court and pinch a few on the road. And that's what Manchester are trying to do, and it's what both teams have done very well throughout. They've performed well at home, and then on the road they've pinched a few. So that Manchester, a tough task tonight, but as you can see, Kayem Cleary and co getting ready to do battle.
So Zagreb 3-0 at home. They are unbeaten at the Drazen Petrovic Basketball Hall in Croatia, and Manchester 2 wins and 1 loss on the road so far. as teams come out onto court, and it will be Manchester playing in white and Dinamo in blue. Nicholson and Polartek for the tip as ball's up and we're underway. First possession goes to Manchester as Max Jones has the ball.
Interesting between Nicholson and Polartek. See who steps out, who can shoot that 15-foot shot as Max Jones fires the first three and is off.
And Delaney Hunt down the court for Zagreb gets the ball back. He's had the hot hand for the team this season. As Polartek finishes with a reverse and a good start.
And that answers my question. They go down low as he spins Matt Nicholson and scores the early two. Matt Nicholson nearly dropped that one as well.
So Smith Jr. thought about it. Oh, passes back to Cleary. Cleary looking to make some space. He's going to step back, fades away, and doesn't get the roll. It's a quick 2-0 start for Dinamo Zagreb as Hunt lines up a three and it's off the rim. But Delaney Hunt, a scorer from everywhere on the floor. He can hit the three, get to the basket. Someone that Manchester are going to need to get out to. There's Adatu Cassie, hands off to Nicholson, and the big man jams it home and gets Manchester on the scoreboard.
So the two big guys scoring early, having close shots to the rim, but teams from the outside on either side both just settling into the rhythm as the play as Hunt moves the basketball again.
Bullock. Polartek kicks it down. Three's up and doesn't drop. Gives Manchester a chance to go ahead early on here.
Yeah, Emil Savic there it was, who was a good three-point shooter just off the target with his first of the game.
Smith Jr. Smith Jr. keeps the ball alive, goes all the way to the hoop, doesn't get it to go, but gets his own rebound as Adatu Cassie steps inside, looks for some space. Cleary's three bounces off the rim, and another chance for Manchester, but you can see Zagreb getting straight down under the basket, really clogging the paint.
Yeah, but with over 2 minutes gone, no one really bombing from the outside as Max Jones tries to force the issue.
Ball's loose, picked up, and it will be an end line possession. Ball goes back with Dinamo.
Both teams having good looks, Caz, early, and the ball's moving well, but the further you go into this contest, the more emphasis there is on ball movement, less one-on-one basketball, more team play will get it done for any team in this league.
The shot's not dropping for Manchester. Vidovic out to Polartek. Thought about the shot, drives to the basket, gets the whistle. And two shots to come for Dinamo.
Really nice move by Polartek. He is a basketball player. Spun early on for the two. He tried it again, and as Nicholson flew out at him, was able to put that basketball on the floor. Really good job.
So Ram Polartek leading the team in rebounds this season, 6.8 a game, along with his 12.5 points. Playing in his first season for Dinamo, but 13th season overall. There's a lot of experience on this Dinamo team.
Definitely. And the further you go into the competition, you will always have those veterans that can come out and, you know, really conduct to the flow of the game and really get other players settled, and he's one of those.
So 1 of 2 from the line, and it's a 1-point Dinamo lead. Smith Jr. set things up for Manchester. Nicholson. Oh, ball's knocked away. Hunt comes up with it. And Hunt hands off under the basket, but Smith Jr. takes it back.
Really good hustle by Smith Jr.
As Jones fires a three and knocks it down. And does that maybe open things up a bit for Manchester, seeing that go through the hoop?
It definitely does, and it's all about keeping up with the Joneses as Max Jones fires from the outside, and he's always the one to calm the nerves and settle everything down. It was a nice shot, a rhythm shot by Max.
Vidovic looks to answer, it's short. Nicholson grabs the rebound for Manchester, and Matt Nicholson, again, another player like Jordan Johnson. We've seen him sort of get into rhythm those last few games for Manchester, especially since the start of the year.
Yeah, and put it this way, there's been a lot of rebounds to get going after early as everybody's missed, as there he is again with another one. Adatu Cassie will let fly, and really, really good job, as you say, by the big man Matt Nicholson.
Able to get those second chance points, those extra looks for Manchester. And it's a 5-point Manchester lead. Just over 6 minutes to play here in the first quarter as Vidovic draws the foul. That'll be the second team foul on Manchester.
Interesting to see how Dinamo Zagreb have kept Delonte Hunt off the basketball. It's Vidovic that's handled it primarily in this opening part, and it's just allowed Vidovic to get more involved in the basketball game. It's a definite ploy by Dinamo Zagreb. Here he is again.
They've done the scout. They know how dangerous he can be as he swings the ball round to Pilatek, and shots too strong. Zach Irvin checking into the game for Manchester for the first time after that last substitution. As Smith Jr. looks to go inside, gets the whistle, and you can see that it's a wall as Manchester try and look to go inside. Dinamo just straight out.
It is, but if anyone can find a way through that wall, it's Smith Jr. But how pleased will coach Matthew Otten be with their start? 8-3 on the road against a tough outfit. He'll be more than happy with how his team have settled down.
Smith Jr. Smith Jr. pulls up for the long two, splashes it in, and Manchester take a 7-point lead here early on. Wheeling
and dealing, Smith Jr. there, probing at every opportunity. Really nice 15-foot jump shot by him.
Bartek pulls up and can't hit.
I dare say he's had nearly every shot that they've had, Caz.
They're certainly looking to him as Jones doesn't get it to go, but Adatu Cassie will pick up another offensive rebound. And Smith Jr. will set things up. Steps back, three's up, doesn't drop. As Dinamo looking to cut into this lead. Vidovic goes baseline, kicks it down. Pilatek, three's too strong and a foul on the rebound.
I don't know if Manchester just scouted this game and said, just leave him, just play everybody else and leave him and dare him to make some outside shots. When he caught that basketball, it looked like he thought, not me again, before he let it go. He gets a rest and goes to the bench, but he looks like he shot the ball every time he's caught it.
As a foul on the shot, that's going to put Dinamo at the line, and that will be on Gabe Osaboyan. His first for Manchester, as we see Osaboyan out onto the floor. And good to see Gabe Osaboyan back playing. We know he missed a few games through injury, but he's a real anchor of Manchester's defence.
I was just going to say the exact words. Good to see him back on court. I mean, he made an appearance in the domestic league in the last game. He didn't really get going due to the foul trouble he had, but he's so good. He's such an underrated facilitator, and you know, he can get his points, but he can also serve others as well really well.
So 2 of 2 from the line. It's down to a 5-point game. Jordan Johnson into the game for the first time for Manchester. Finds Adatu Cassie. Back to Johnson. Osaboyan and Smith Jr. with space. Doesn't get it to drop. And the outside shooting not really falling for both teams early on, as Hunt takes it all the way to the basket, gets himself onto the scoreboard.
Tough finish in transition by Hunt, really forces the issue. But Manchester having some good looks early. Any shot they've really wanted, they've got, as Zach Irvin has another wide open one from the corner. This time it's off.
Oh, nice spin from Jankovic. Doesn't get it to fall though. And a whistle on the play. And that'll be the second team foul on Zagreb. As Manchester will take it from the sideline.
Yeah, one of those fouls that you're just trying to slow the game down, and it's often employed is that strategy in European basketball. Dictates the pace of the game. That time Zach Irvin couldn't get his team out and running as Dinamo Zagreb fall back into a 3-2 zone.
And it's Johnson with a deep three. Doesn't drop, but again, Manchester crashing the offensive boards. They're getting those extra chances. As Jordan finds Irvin in the corner, he'll go again and splashes it in from outside.
Well, it helped him. He had a sighter early on from the corner, the exact same shot as Dinamo Zagreb run that one right back down the guts of the D, but nice shot by Zach Irvin from the corner.
Vidovic gets himself onto the scoreboard for Zagreb. It's a 4-point game. Johnson. Irvin on the baseline, gets the whistle. Fouls on the floor, so Manchester ball. And that's the third team foul now on Zagreb.
You think these European teams have watched endless and endless film of Zach Irvin dancing along that baseline?
Finishing with a reverse layup.
Yeah, I'm sure they have. But it's very rare as we see a team go into zone this early. And they've definitely scouted and thought, well, Manchester have been off from the perimeter so far. Why not? One guy who is usually not off on the perimeter is Cal Carey, but he misses his first attempt.
Hunt. Good ball movement here as 3 goes for Savic. And we're down to a 1-point game. Savic, a really strong shooter from outside as Osaboyan looks to answer. Banks in 2 for Manchester.
He's going to count that, I think, off the glass, and doesn't matter at the end of the day. The stats will show the basket.
As Hunt goes all the way. And Manchester making a stand. Osaboyan has it. Osaboyan will take it all the way to the basket, count it, and the foul. And Gabe Osaboyan drawing the contact and a chance for a 3-point play.
Grown man move by Osaboyan, and we could hear him bark in our headsets over here, so that arena will be well on standby to hear the voice of Gabe Osaboyan. A really nice finish.
As we've
and
got
he'll go to the line when he comes back.
A timeout called. Manchester leading 15-12 over Dinamo Zagreb. And leading the way for Zagreb, it is Emil Savic with 5 points personal along with 2 rebounds. And for Manchester basketball, spreading the scoring around. But Max Jones with 3 points and 3 rebounds. So 1 free throw to come for Gabe Osaboyan and Manchester. Manchester leading early on here in the final game of the regular season for these teams in the ENBL. And Gabe Osaboyan playing in his first season for Manchester basketball. Spent last year with the Cleveland Charge in the G League after spending 3 years in the G League. A player that brings a lot of experience to this team.
He really does. He has a chance to move to 5 points early, but he's able to eat in games and also feed others. He can distribute the basketball and really gel his team, and he's just become a kind of underappreciated luxury, I would say, on this basketball team.
So a 5-point game. Hunt, hands off to Vidovic. Jukovic. Out to the corner. And 3's up off the rim. As Johnson over to Irvin, and Irvin racing the floor for Manchester.
The timing of the pass by Johnson was impeccable. It only needed Zach Irvin to catch 1-2 and finish. Beautiful pass by Johnson.
And that's the facilitation from Jordan Johnson that we've got used to seeing on a great fake as Vidovic hits another.
How many times must he have done that in practice? Run out to the 3-point line, take 1 dribble and nail the 15-footer. Cal Carey nicely puts that one on the floor.
And Carey will go to the free throw line.
I mean, talk about guys that are ready to play, Caz. And whenever you play this guy, he just plays well. You know, coming off the bench, starting, whatever it is, he's ready to go. Some guys need 30 seconds to get in the game. As soon as he catches, as soon as he's on defense, he's ready and forcing the issue here, Cal Carey.
As he hits the first.
Spent that year overseas in Colorado at university. Came back, was part of the Myerscough basketball program, and wherever he's played, London City Royals, Manchester, wherever it's been, he's just been really, really good.
As Carey goes 2 of 2 from the line, and Manchester up to a 7-point lead here in the first half. Vidovic hands off underneath the basket and finish from Jakovic.
Jakovic caught the basketball well and was able to eliminate the shot block and go into the body of Otsaboyan.
Johnson steps back for 3, gets the roll. And Manchester with their biggest lead of the game so far, up to 8. Hunt, round to Vidovic. Vidovic passing inside and oh, nice. Oh, can't finish. Looked like that was about to drop.
Yeah, did everything but score.
As Cleary racing down the floor, throws it down for Manchester.
Well, we don't really have time to speak here, Caz, because as soon as that basketball's gone up, Kyle Cleary is running it right back to the other end of the rim.
End-to-end basketball on our hands at the moment, and Manchester will be whistled for their 5th foul, so that will put Dinamo at the free throw line. 40.3 seconds to play in the first quarter, and a high-scoring first quarter for Manchester.
Yeah, 10 points to the good. Double-digit lead at this point would have been dreamland before the game. Coach Otten and his boys.
First shot goes for Dinamo.
I would say no panic for the home team here. You know, they've been here, they've won those 6 games in the competition. That's not by luck.
As 1 of 2 from the line for Novicic. Manchester possession. Irvin over to Carey. Carey pulls up, sinks it. And that is what Kyle Carey does so well off the bench. Knocks down 3s from outside.
Yeah, and it doesn't allow Dinamo to sit back in that zone. Beat it down the floor, shoot early, and make them pay. And making them pay nearly at the other end.
And Jankovic keeps the ball alive, but it'll be a step out of bounds, as Manchester will have the ball back with 14.2 on the clock.
Be interesting to see if Dinamo Zagreb will sit back in that zone or they'll match up man-to-man. It looks like they're going to go in the zone, so Johnson will try penetrate here possibly and kick out to an open shooter. Here he goes.
So Johnson spinning to the basket, scoops it up and in. And Dinamo with a couple of seconds here as Hunt launches from the halfway line. Oh, nearly got it to go. But at the end of the first quarter, it's a 31-17 lead for Manchester Basketball over Dinamo Zagreb. That's a really strong start for Manchester to the first quarter, Jason.
It's been an excellent start, and even early on when they didn't get the basketball to go, they had shots they wanted. 17 plays 31. Manchester in control, high scoring first quarter. See if they can keep that up in the next 3, but really, really good start by the English outfit.
And for Manchester, a team 4th in the ENBL this season in points per game, 91.7. That's just behind Dinamo Zagreb, who have been averaging 91.9. So Manchester outpacing their usual scoring here. And Manchester having been led by 5 points from Kyle Carey off the bench, as Dinamo led by Emil Savic, 5 points and 2 rebounds. And we talked about the rebounding battle earlier, Jason, but Manchester out-rebounding Dinamo 16-10 and 6 offensive rebounds, leading to 6 second chance points, compared to just 2 offensive rebounds and 2 second chance points for Dinamo.
Yeah, Manchester do in total over the season out-rebound Dinamo 217 to 199, so they are expected to out-rebound, but good balanced scoring from Manchester. You've also got Zach Irvin and Jordan Johnson on 5 as well.
So back underway for the second quarter, and it's Dinamo ballers. Pulatek gets the foul and will go to the free throw line.
Pulatek turning the corner really well, and Nicholson's only hope was to just grab him, and he still says it wasn't a foul. It's a foul in any league when you watch it back.
Plutarch spent last season in Kosovo, where he averaged 10 points a game and just under 5.5 rebounds, having played across countries in Bosnia, Hungary, Slovenia. Got experience playing in Europe Cup as well whilst he was in Slovenia. So a really valuable player out there on the floor as he gets the second. Manchester with a 13-point lead. Johnson has it. To Nicholson. Osaboyan. Osaboyan back to Cleary, and Cleary too much on the shot. It was a great box out from Pilatek there against Nicholson. And Savic with too much time in the corner.
Yeah, you said it right. Too much time sometimes can be more uncomfortable than a contested one.
As Osaboyan drives to the basket and will go back to the free throw line. Gabe Osaboyan off the bench for Manchester, 4 points and a rebound.
I like the coaching of Dinamo Zagreb. There's no coincidence that they are very high up in this competition. You know, they were in a zone, it didn't work. Manchester had it rolling from the outside. They've gone straight back to man to compete, and changing up the defenses and changing up the speed of the game is a real good ingredient to coming back into this one. So I really like the coaching style.
Dinamo led by head coach Milo Merverovic. As Osaboyan misses the first, one more to come and gets the second. Osaboyan up to 5 points for Manchester, increases the lead up to 14. And he'll take a seat. Plutarch with a hook shot, nice finish at the rim.
If he doesn't have 20 by the end of the night, well, I don't know what he needs to do, but he's had the basketball in his hands every odd play as Max Jones goes down the lane.
Leads back up to 14. Hunt. Pilatek keeps it alive for Dinamo. 12 seconds on the clock. Back to Hunt, and that'll be a backcourt violation. So Manchester will get possession. And we'll see Mateo Vidovic back onto court.
Well, you have to hand it to Manchester. They know the scorers out there are. They know who they can leave. They know who can go one-on-one. KYP, know your personnel. Manchester have done that exceptionally well here so far.
Jones against Vidovic. Cleary thought about it. Using the screen from Nicholson as Cleary. And time will expire. A 24-second shot clock violation for Manchester. As Dinamo will have the ball back.
Yeah, you always have to know how long is left on that shot clock, especially if you're the 1 or 2 guard position. It's invariably going to end up in your hands, late shot clock.
Novicic working against Adatu Kassi, finds a way to the basket.
Novicic used the chicken wing on Adatu Kassi there, just got by him and stuck it out. Adatu Kassi was unable to get back.
Cleary to Nicholson. Back to Cleary. Cleary with space. Three's up. Spins off the rim. As Novicic puts it up and puts it in for Dinamo. And we'll have a timeout called as Dinamo cut the lead to 10 points here in the second quarter.
Well, Ivan Novicic, he's been a bright spark coming off the bench, and I suppose that's why he's the captain, because he can lead by example. Really been good coming off that bench.
So a 10-point lead for Manchester Basketball over Dinamo Zagreb here in the second quarter. Both teams having qualified for the playoffs in the ENBL. But for Manchester, a win today would seal home court advantage. There's a lot of other permutations going on, Jason, a lot of other games to be played, but Manchester know that a win will give them that home court.
Yeah, and it's amazing. Their first season as Manchester Basketball in European competition. Hats off to General Manager Dominique Allam and Pete Simmons for getting the job done already. It's already turning into a really exciting season for Manchester.
As Novicic takes it all the way and lays it in. And he has been a real spark for Dinamo.
I mean, we saw Newcastle in this competition get to the final last year.
We did.
And now we have Manchester competing and going through to the next round.
And Nicholson takes the contact. Second team foul on Dinamo. As Nicholson with a chance for an and one opportunity for Manchester.
Smart play by Nicholson there to, as soon as he found that he had contact on him, just throw that basketball up as he gets the three-point play, but nice play by the big fella.
Manchester's lead is back up to 11. Novicic against Adetoukasi, hands off to Vidovic. Vidovic with 8 seconds, lays it up and in. That's a tough move, a really high shot off the backboard.
Tough move, and PJ Smith has played it impeccably thus far, and he did just then on the other end, but Vidovic was, like he said, with the difficulty of a shot, but PJ Smith really playing good defense at that end.
And Dinamo pick up their third team foul of the quarter as Manchester will inbound. Ball's into Jones, not that time. And Dinamo back down the floor. Novic has it. Vidovic. Polutak working inside that hook shot. Doesn't go that time. And Irvin kicks it out to Adetoukasi as the three is up and in.
That was a nice pass by Zach Irvin. The high dribble with the high socks, looking like Magic Johnson in the open court, and throws it out, and Adetoukasi obliges. Nice play.
Novicic. Abdelovic back to Novicic. 6 seconds on the clock. 4 seconds. Dinamo need to put something up, and Novicic won't go. And Manchester's certainly taking advantage here. As Smith Jr. looks for a path to the basket, finds it. And Manchester with the lead back up to 14 points here, and just under 6 minutes to play as we've got a timeout called. But Manchester have really been able to withstand everything that Dinamo are throwing at them so far.
Yeah, and it's a team that's playing in sync, and that being Manchester Basketball. You saw the defensive stop done by committee, closing out, contesting shots and inhaling that rebound and going the other way. PJ Smith slows it down with the basket, but Manchester totally in tune of everything going on out there right now.
And for Manchester, leading the way, Tim Adetoukasi with 6 points personal. Kyle Carey and Gabe Osboyan off the bench with 5 points apiece. And for Dinamo, it's been 6 points from Imran Pulatek. And then off the bench, 7 points, Ivan Novicic, the captain of the team. And do you maybe want to see the ball go to Novicic a bit more? He's certainly been able to put the ball in the basket, and since he's been coming off the bench, he's kind of helped lead those small Dinamo runs.
Well, first of all, you have to get some stops on the defensive end, because yes, you're right, Novicic came in and he did a real good job in terms of scoring, but Pulatek has been dead to shoot the ball every time he's got it. But if you're consistently taking the ball out of the hoop, going back the other way, it's not as easy. You're going to have to play 5 against 5 for the rest of the game. So Manchester's scoring has just totally inhibited both defense and offense for Dinamo Zagreb.
And for Dinamo, it's shooting just 1 of 8 from the 3-point line to Manchester's 6 of 17. And Dinamo, a team that set a record in the ENBL for made threes against Tindastól, where they hit 60%, knocking down 23 threes in a game. So Manchester have really been able to close that down. There's a whistle on the floor. Manchester will pick up their second team foul.
42 points already with 5 minutes 38 remaining in the first half. Probably one of Manchester's best spells and possibly the best halves on the road in the ENBL.
Ball's inside and gets the bounce as Jankovic cuts into the lead.
Good response and nice pass by Vidovic.
Jones. Jones goes to the basket, stops, spins and gets the bounce. As Max Jones up to 7 points personal.
And you can hear Novicic, the captain, yelling, that's a travel, but if you're looking for a whistle, find your own. Max Jones kept that pivot foot down, spun and scored.
And Novicic, oh, with a tough shot. And that's what Dinamo need to look for. 9 points now for Novicic.
Well, that's the one guy they didn't get the scouting report on right, because he's come off the bench and just reckless abandon, just gone to work.
Novicic dropped 11 points and 6 rebounds against Pristina earlier in the competition, up to 9 points today. As Smith Jr. finds Osaboyan. Osaboyan runs into the double team. Ball stripped. And Dinamo down the floor. But it's picked off by Adatukasi.
Another good thing Manchester have done is transition defense. They've got back in numbers. They've slowed the basketball. There's been very few opportunities for Dinamo to score in transition.
As Smith Jr. sinks another for Manchester. And the 7th three of the half for Manchester, with the biggest lead of the game so far, up to 15 here in the first half. Novicic. Jankovic, 5 seconds. Vidovic, 3 seconds. Novicic has to put something up. And you could see that Osaboyan getting a hand on the ball, just knocked it away, really disrupted that flow on offense.
Yeah, he consistently does those things, Gabe Osaboyan. You know, defensive player of the year back in college. He's a real tough player. And there he is with a nice pass to Zach Irving too. Do a little bit of everything, Caz.
A real all-round player out on the floor for Manchester as Dinamo pick up their 4th team foul.
I wouldn't want to guard PJ Smith or this guy here, Jordan Johnson. I mean, we can hear through our headset the squeaking of the sneakers on the floor. Imagine guarding that too close. Bad for your health. 2
players that just don't stop moving when they're out on the floor, as Jones against Novicic. And travel will be called. You can see there the defensive presence of Novicic really making a difference.
Yeah, and there is your travel, Novicic. You can get that one. Max Jones shuffled the feet.
Dinamo looking to cut into this 15-point deficit. Vidovic. Vidovic will set things up. Off the screen from Novicic. Jankovic to the basket. Doesn't go, but ball's loose. See head coach Matthew Otten there from Manchester Basketball directing his team in his first season as head coach for Manchester Basketball.
He'll be pleased because that's 3 stops, I beg your pardon, in the last 5 minutes that they've got the shot clock down to within 2 or 1 seconds and had a forced shot right towards the end. So Manchester Basketball, they must have been doing some serious work in practice at the defensive end.
Johnson against Vidovic. Johnson.
Oh, nice.
Speeds up out to Jones, and Jones leaves it short, but Irving Adatukasi, apologies, skies in for the rebound. As Manchester get another chance, Johnson steps back, shots up and in.
Jordan Johnson, I think he changed those sneakers when he went back out, and I think the reason being he must have worn those first pair out in that first quarter. He's shifty with the best of them.
Bullock pass underneath the basket to Vidovic.
Max Jones got that one as it was on the glass. Count the bucket.
So one shot to come for Dinamo. Mateo Vidovic at the free throw line. He's been averaging just over 7 points a game this season. Oh, no foul called.
No, count the bucket, got the ball on the glass.
As Johnson fires a three, nails it.
He is as cool as the other side of the pillow. You go underneath the screen, he'll step back. You go under, he'll just dance down the middle, toying with defenders right now.
Hunt back into the game for Dinamo. Looks to go to the basket, runs into Cleary.
Look at Gabe Ossaboyan handle the basketball on mid-court. Just as I say that, he says, hold on a minute, and travels. You can leave him with the ball, though. If he gets a defensive rebound and he just can push like he does now, yes, he probably picked up the wrong time to pick it up, but he can just handle the basketball in the open court. It's such a luxury for all those other guards just to get out and run.
It certainly is. As Dinamo with the ball. And a miscommunication on the pass as Manchester will have possession. 1:40 to play here in the first half. And it's an 18-point lead for Manchester basketball. Dinamo 3-0 at home this season in the ENBL. Manchester looking to spoil that record. Ossaboyan to Adatu Cassie. And Dinamo with the rebound, hunts down the court.
Calcari on that last play was overplayed at the three-point line, and like all good players do, if you're overplayed, go back door. He was wide open, Ossaboyan missed him. And he was saying, how did you miss me? It just gave Ossaboyan proving that passing, he is human.
So a sideline ball for Dinamo, Savic to inbound. Hunt back to Savic. Hunt passing into Jankovic. And ball goes out of bounds. It will be Manchester ball.
A shame Kane Henry is not out there tonight. You know, one of those guys that has huffed and puffed and not had chance really to blow the house down through injuries. He's been really good in the NBL competition as Dinamo Zagreb get to go back to the line, but he's just not had that run, Caz.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because when he's out on the court, he makes such an impact for Manchester.
He does, but I mean, credit the young man. You know, when he's on the bench, we see him before games. He's all team, he's all encouragement. But you just want for him to get back out there and have a few games back to back so he can get his rhythm back.
So Novicic at the foul line, leading Dinamo with 10 points now after that first free throw. Playing his 17th season overall, his 4th for Dinamo. Experience in Europe Cup last season, as goes 2 of 2 from the line. There's the first Dinamo player into double figures with 11. Johnson steps back, no good. Novicic to Savic in the corner, 3, too strong, and ball's tipped out of bounds, will stay Dinamo ball. And we reach the final minute of the first half, 50.2 seconds to go. As ball comes off Ossaboyan and Manchester. Novicic thought about it, sidesteps, puts up a 3. And Johnson fighting for the rebound. One of the smaller players out there on court, but Jordan Johnson always hustling for the ball as Adatu Cassie takes it. And it goes back with Dinamo.
Good job by Ossaboyan pursuing the basketball. Dinamo Zagreb will have a chance to get some momentum going into the second half as they score from close range.
And a timeout called, 26.9 seconds in the first half. Manchester with a 14-point lead. They've been led by Jordan Johnson with 10 points off the bench, along with 5 rebounds and 4 assists. And for Manchester, in their first campaign in the ENBL, it's been a really good experience for them. I know Coach Otton's spoken about being able to play the physicality, the toughness at this level, bringing that experience back into the Super League.
Well, if you're a fan of Manchester basketball, go and watch them for this simple reason. You're not exactly sure what you're going to get on any given night. They can be emphatic at best, and they can disappoint on the odd occasion, but in this ENBL, they've been extremely consistent, and they are starting to gain momentum in the SLB. It's a team on the rise. It's a young team with a lot of players in their first year out of college, but the one thing they do have is they have a core of English players that are very, very good. So Manchester basketball in a good situation for the second half of the season.
And Manchester basketball have made it through to the SLB Cup semi-finals. The road to home starts the weekend of the 13th of February. Manchester will be playing their first leg of the Cup semi-final in Surrey on Friday the 13th of February, and then they will be at home at the National Basketball Performance Centre on Sunday the 15th at 3 o'clock. And that will be followed by the women's game, also in the Cup semi-final against the Oakland's Wolves. So if you go to manchester.basketball, you can grab your tickets. It's going to be an absolutely incredible day of semi-final Cup action. But back here on the floor, 10 seconds to play in the first half. Cleary and whistled for the travel, so Dinamo will get the ball back with 7.4 seconds on the clock. And that's time here for Dinamo to take some momentum heading into half-time. So ball's in, 5 seconds, Hunt has it. Jankovic, and shot spins out at the buzzer. So at the end of the first half, it's a 14-point Manchester lead, 52-38. And a really strong lead there for Manchester as we head into half-time, Jason.
It's a very strong lead, and Coach Otton will be over the moon. 52 points. Absolute barnstormer here by Manchester in the first half.
And something that really stands out here, Jason, Dinamo 1 of 11 from the three-point line. They've been averaging 11 three-pointers a game, and Manchester having hit 8 of 21. They've also been averaging 11 a game, so Manchester shooting very well from outside.
So here's where the psychology of sport comes in. The coach can go into the locker room and say, we are 1 from 11 from three-point line, and everyone's heads can drop. And he can also say, we are still well within reach of striking distance coming back into the second half, and we haven't made a shot yet, so when we do, we will be right there. So it just depends on the mentality, and this is where practice and comes in with these players. We'll see how they respond in the second half.
And for Manchester, it's been 24 rebounds to Dinamo's 18. 7 of those rebounds offensive, leading to 8 second chance points. And for Dinamo, just 4 offensive rebounds and 2 second chance points. Manchester have done a really good job working the boards inside, but also stopping Dinamo from getting there.
Yeah, they have, and like I say, but 52 points poured down you will mean that you cannot get out and run, you cannot get transition opportunities, you have to play in the half court. And like any league in the world, if you can stop fast break opportunities, you already take, I would say, around 10 to 15 points a game off in total scoring. So Manchester have done that by scoring at one end and stopping them at the other.
And for Dinamo, winning the battle in the paint, though, 20 points in the paint to Manchester's 16. And we've seen Ivan Novicic with 11 points leading the way. Do they keep going to that?
Yeah, they possibly do.
So up next, we've got the top 10 players for Manchester Basketball from January coming up while we take a short break for half-time. Welcome back into the Drazen Petrovic Basketball Hall in Croatia as Dinamo Zagreb and Manchester Basketball get ready for the second half here in round 8 of the ENBL. And as we go into the third quarter, it's a 14-point Manchester lead, 52-38, as they look to secure home court advantage in the playoffs. And a win today will do just that for them. So third quarter underway as Nicholson kicks the ball out to Jones. Jones shots off, and Dinamo look to cut into this deficit. And a foul on Manchester, so first team foul, that's on the floor.
Good start by Dinamo Zagreb, a stop and a trip down the other end where they nearly get a basket. Fouled by Max Jones there, but good start by Dinamo Zagreb.
Vidovic gets the ball into Hunt. And a quiet first half from Hunt than we've been used to seeing, as Vidovic doesn't get the three, and Dinamo's still struggling from that three-point line.
I think you just spoke about Hunt there. I think Manchester did an excellent job. Whenever he screened, they doubled, they got the ball out of his hands, and they forced people like Politek to take outside jumpers, and he was really thwarted in terms of scoring.
It's Jones to Cleary. Hands off to Adatukasi.
So many teams run the handoff now, especially to the wing.
As Jones under the basket to Nicholson. Nicholson gets his own rebound. As the ball's tipped, Smith Jr. has it and reins in another. And Manchester on fire from the three-point line. 9 made threes.
Give that Matt Nicholson a second thought. You see that little no-look touch pass he had? It's not going to replay it back as Zagreb come back and score, but it was a nice little pass from Matt Nicholson to PJ Smith.
We got point Nicholson. As Hunt gets his second basket of the game. Does that open things up a bit now for Dinamo as they're back down the floor? Ball's with Hunt. Hunt all the way and back-to-back buckets for Deloney Hunt.
You're just looking there at Coach Otten to see if he was going to call a timeout. All the teams at this level truly respect each other and the danger they provide in trying to get back into the game, and possibly after this bucket a timeout will be called.
As Hunt goes inside and a travel called, so Manchester possession.
Well, there was a famous coach that used to let teams just play through bad spells. Phil Jackson, that was, at the Bulls and the Lakers. Never called timeout when his team started to go down, and Manchester weathering that little one there. And
is that something as well that really helps you on the floor, because you have to learn to play through things like that?
Yeah, but I suppose when you have Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen out there, it definitely does help in terms of getting back and weathering the storm. So, but yeah, coaches tend to call timeouts when there's a running play, but just as you've seen here, just didn't press the buzzer and let Manchester play on, and they've stopped and scored back-to-back possessions.
As a holding foul against Manchester, so they pick up their second.
Still not really panic time for Dinamo Zagreb. You know, 15 points is not something that's insurmountable. If they can get this one down to single digits in this quarter, they'll be fine going into the fourth and be in striking distance. But can Manchester just keep them at bay and possibly get it to 20 points?
4 seconds on the clock. Piatek's doubled out to Hunt, and a long three from Hunt. And foul on the floor. So Manchester with 3 quick fouls in the second half here.
And this is where Manchester did really well in the first half. They did just what Dinamo Zagreb are doing in the second. If they missed, they offensive rebounded, and they made shots difficult at the other end. So Dinamo Zagreb, I would say, starting the better out of the two.
Novicic backing down Adatukasi. Novicic turns, and a travel called. So Adatukasi putting the pressure on defensively, forcing the turnover.
Really, really good job by Tim Adatukasi. As we see the replay, he dares him to go back to his left, knowing that he can still cover the spin move. Forces the turnover. Really, really good footwork and good defense by the number 22 in white.
So a 15-point lead for Manchester Basketball as we have a timeout on the floor. And referees will go to the replay table to check that last play.
I love all this stuff. You know, by no means am I a referee. I love the communication. Of the officials. We'll see what the infringement being looked at was. Oh, it's a challenge on the play. Is it out of bounds off the foot of PJ Smith? That's what they're looking at. It's quite an easy one for me. I think this ball will go to Dinamo Zagreb.
And you're right, Jason.
I love to hear those words. There's very few times I hear that in my life, so thank you, Caz.
So it will be a Dinamo ball. Hunt with back-to-back buckets to start the third quarter for Dinamo. As that'll be Manchester's fourth foul in 3 minutes of play. So this is something that Dinamo can really look to try and take advantage of.
Yeah, you don't want to get into foul trouble. You don't want to stop the clock and start letting Dinamo Zagreb go to the line for easy ones.
Hunt looks to get the ball in. Back to Hunt. Great pass inside, and it's knocked out of bounds.
PJ Smith out of nowhere stripped the basketball. There's no foul called. I think coaches on the side thought there was a foul, but look at the quick hands of PJ Smith there. Good rotation defense by the point guard. So quick, PJ Smith.
He's lightning fast. As we will now have a timeout called as teams. Oh no, we're checking the replay. So another official review as to check who the ball was last off.
I think they're looking once again. Does it come off the knee of Politek? Usually that is what is being looked at when there's a swipe down on defense. The call on the floor was Dinamo Zagreb ball, so they're going to have enough evidence to overturn that. However, what are you going with, Caz? Let's play. I'm going with Manchester ball right here. I want to hear you right again. Oh, I'm wrong.
I didn't say it.
You should have gone. Well, that's the story of my life. I think I'm up and then I'm down. Good job,
It will
Caz.
be Dinamo possession, 6:53 to play in the third quarter. A 15-point Manchester lead as Hunt into Vidovic. Oh, nice finish. And Vidovic with a reverse for Dinamo.
Nice and smooth out of the breaking play.
Takes himself into double figures with 10 points. And if you're Dinamo, you want to chip into this, try and get it down to a 10-point game, get it down to single digits. Novic leads the way back down the floor. Hunt. Back to Hunt. Polutak steps inside and a tough finish.
Good footwork, Caz. They wanted to travel, but small steps don't count. Polutak really just knifed through the defense. It goes back. Good pass by Hunt as he picks the pocket.
And Hunt takes it
Smith.
all the way and lays it in. And Deloney Hunt up to 8 points here. And in 6 in the third quarter after a quieter first half for him by his standards.
Well, ENBL action not disappointing. You first thought Dinamo Zagreb were out of it, but they are well and truly, pardon the pun, back in the hunt.
So a timeout called. Manchester leading here in the third quarter. Manchester leading by 11 in the third over Dinamo Zagreb. Manchester currently with 5 wins and 2 losses in the ENBL this season. Dinamo Zagreb 6-1. Their only loss coming to Opava in December.
I'm impressed how Dinamo Zagreb have made this game quicker, and they've gone from, I would say, one side of the court to the other, west to east, as fast as anyone's done it in this game. Speaking of those things, we have a game in the SLB coming up, North versus South, Caz. Manchester against London.
We do, as Max Jones drills another 3.
That will be on the 22nd in the SLB. What a game that's going to be. So Manchester not only playing at the high heights of the ENBL, we've got some really tough games coming up in the SLB.
They have against top-seeded London Lions, as Novicic fires but can't hit. Yeah, that's going to be a fun one, Jason. North v South on the 22nd of February. 3 o'clock, you can go to manchester.basketball and grab your tickets. Come down to the National Basketball Performance Centre and see the teams in action. And
it's an indication of the state of play from both clubs. You know, London Lions have been so dominant and so successful in European competition in the Euro Cup this year. And then you've got Manchester, who are one of those teams going to be knocking on the door, hopefully, in years to come. And it's a chance for them to really test their mettle. So that North versus South game is one to watch for sure in the season.
London coming off that trophy final win, first piece of silverware of the season on Sunday in the Super League.
Yeah, you have to feel for Newcastle. They picked a trophy up last year, but seem to get to a final every year. So hats off to Mark Stoutel, but they were overmanned by London.
Just over 5 minutes to play in the third quarter. It's a 12-point Manchester lead. Boyan with a behind-the-back pass over to Jones. Jones steps back and drills it.
Tough shot for most, easy shot for Max Jones. See that time and time again, the step to the side and the step back 3.
And Jones now up to 13 points for Manchester. Jakidovic spinning to the basket. Jakovic, as Johnson pulls up from deep. Hunt racing down the court. And shot bounces off, and the 3's just not falling for Dinamo today.
Yeah, falling for neither team at the moment, really, as Jordan Johnson will have it in his hands. But real helter-skelter basketball in that last 2 minutes. Some erratic shots, and even a poor shot from Jordan Johnson on the other side. We don't usually see that, but I guess we're lucky that someone's fouled and we can all just breathe for a second and slow this basketball game down. Tim Adukasi will take a break, and back into the game. There he is, the captain.
Manchester possession. Johnson against Hunt. Stops. Over to Irvin. Irvin with space on the baseline.
Immediate impact, and only 10 seconds ago he was tying those shorts up ready to go, and then he finds the basketball, and like a broken record, I will say once again, Zach Irvin cuts along the baseline for 2.
So timeout on the floor. Manchester leading in the third quarter. And we do keep mentioning it, Jason, but 1 of 16 from 3 for Dinamo. That's really not representative of how they play as a team.
Well, you're very diplomatic there, Caz. You know, it's absolutely awful if you're a 3-point shooting team. But credit the defence of Manchester and credit the speed that this game is being played at. They've known who to go out on, they've known who to stay home, they've known really how to play against this Dinamo Zagreb team. And you know, yes, they've been off from the perimeter, but look at the no-look by Matt Nicholson. And one guy who's not off and off is PJ Smith.
And Deloney Hunt here in the third quarter, so 6 points in the third. He's kind of got into a bit more of a rhythm. He's been able to find those spaces he wasn't able to in the first.
Yeah, but he's not self-employed. You need other guys to join the party. You know, you need to do it with committee, as we see Matt Nicholson there lay it up, and every time they've looked like they're going to get on a roll, credit Manchester, they've come back with a couple of key buckets. Right now, I'm not sure where Dinamo Zagreb are going to find that defensive stops and the offensive input needed to get back into it, but we'll see.
4:20 to play in the third quarter as it's Dinamo ball. 17-point Manchester lead. Hunt against Johnson. Hunt drives all the way to the rack.
Maybe that's the place they're going to find it.
Leads down to 15. Johnson. Over to Irvin. Ossaboyan and Jones looks for some help. Ossaboyan's there with 6 seconds. Spins and a travel called. So Dinamo get possession. And for Dinamo, is that 10-point mark? Is that about the figure you want to try and get to? You want to try and break that 10-point mark because it's not, they've not really been able to?
Yeah, but, you know, it's not over yet, but they're going to have to get at least 3 stops in a row and a couple of scores. Is this 2 scores in a row? It's not, as Hunt misses. But only 15 points. Still within striking distance. I just can't see any rhythm coming from Dinamo Zagreb, and I can't see Manchester not keeping ticking over.
There's Johnson, dancing inside, shot short, picked up by Ossaboyan, and Manchester will get another chance. 3 seconds, a deep 3 from Johnson. That's off, ball's tipped, but shot clock violation as ball didn't hit the rim.
Well, in the first half we saw Dinamo Zagreb have about 3 shot clock violations or there or thereabouts. Manchester have one there. And I would stick with the point guard duties with Hunt as we've got here. I wouldn't go anywhere else right now in this game. He's the only guy that looks to be able to inflict any pain on the defense.
Jakovic. Savic driving. Jakovic. 4 seconds. Ball's knocked away. Picked up by Irvin. And Johnson up and under. Doesn't get it to fall. As Hunt takes advantage. Spins. And ball's out to the corner. Vidovic against Smith Jr.
It's good transition defense by Manchester.
Vidovic. Ball's into the corner and Savic can't get it to fall. Big box out there from Irvin.
Yeah, but as we get a break in play, hats off to coach Matthew Watton and his team. They were beat there. They had 3 guys around the ball handler Hunt, and he dished the basketball. They had a 3-on-1 opportunity and still Manchester got back in transition. They have really, really done that well. They've eliminated all chances of early scores by Dinamo Zagreb. And credit Manchester, they've really played good transition defense.
As Lucas Avdilovic checks in for Dinamo, and the 3 will go from outside, and Kyle Carey takes himself up to 8 points, stretches the lead back to 18. And Dinamo got an answer here as the ball goes out of bounds. Will stay Dinamo ball.
Trying to beat Kyle Carey off the dribble, not a good idea really, as he guesses right and just pokes that basketball away. Nearly a steal for the number 1, Kyle Carey.
And that's something he does so well. He does it on both ends of the floor. Such a tough defender, but can score when he needs to. And just like that, Delonnie Hunt. Is that going to open things up now for Dinamo? The second made 3 of the game for Dinamo, and Hunt up to 13 points after a quiet first half.
Johnson with a little hezzy there, but I won't fall in love too much. He's probably going to get one of the plays of the game, Delonnie Hunt there from the wing, but it's a late shot clock again. It's a bailout 3. Manchester will live with those going forward.
As Johnson at the foul line. Doesn't get the first. Johnson averaging just under 12 points a game and 5.1 assists in the Super League for Manchester. 4th in the league in assists per game. Dished out 13 against the Cheshire Phoenix earlier in the season as he goes 1 of 2 from the line.
Something that we don't touch on enough is Johnson's ability to facilitate everybody else. We talk about his scoring, his step back 3s, but he's really good at assisting the ball. As Hunt once again goes down the middle. He's been on fire this half.
13 second half points for Hunt. As it's a 14-point Manchester lead. Carey into Adatu Cassie and gets the foul call, so that'll be 2 free throws to come for Manchester.
One thing Manchester will not care about is how many Hunt has at the end of this game, as long as they see it through. But right now, Deloney Hunt has 15 points personal. He leads all scorers, and he's single-handedly keeping them in this basketball game.
Adatu Cassie gets the first for Manchester, shooting 81.8% from the stripe so far this season. Spent some time last year in Slovakia and North Macedonia, and then playing for Manchester basketball this season as he gets the second. Hunt. And ball will go out of bounds. Manchester get it back with 52.1 on the clock. And it's been a 19-17 run for Manchester this quarter. So a good run for Dinamo, but Manchester just been able to outscore them. It was that 31-17 first quarter that's done some damage for Manchester. Hunt picks up the rebound. Swings it round and foul on the shot. So Fran Jakovic will go to the free throw line.
And a sparse opportunity for Dinamo Zagreb to run. We've not really seen any replays like that in this game because Manchester collectively have got back on defence. And they have to really keep their eye on that, because for me that has been the key to this basketball game. The inability of Dinamo Zagreb to get out in transition.
First is good for Jakovic. Playing his second season for Dinamo, and this year in the Croatian League he's doubled his average in points per game and rebounds from last season. As he gets the second.
He has to play well. Red shoes, long socks. There's no hiding out there. You know, if you have a bad game.
Leads back down to 14. It is that 14-point mark that Dinamo don't seem to be able to break through. They chip into it a bit, but then Manchester just pull away. I
think psychologically you need it to get it within single digits to feel that you can come back.
Johnson to Carey. 5 seconds on the clock. Wow. Carey launches, doesn't drop, but Smith Jr. with the rebound. And ball's intercepted by Hunt, and Hunt in a race, spin into the basket. Ball will go out of bounds, and Gabe Osaboyan there racing back in transition.
If you stood next to Gabe Osaboyan, he is a big boy, and to get back in with that speed, that is why he was in the NBA. Just moves differently.
9.9 seconds, Dinamo ball. And intercepted by Osaboyan, so Manchester have it. 6 seconds, Smith Jr. lobs it up, and Adatu Cassie lays it in for 2. As Hunt will launch at the end of the third quarter. And it is a 73-57 lead for Manchester basketball over Dinamo Zagreb. Manchester putting up 21 points in the third quarter, a 21-19 run.
Yeah, and if we're reviewing that last 35 seconds, and it's a crime scene, Gabe Osaboyan's fingerprints are all over it.
So leading the way for Manchester, it's been Max Jones with 13 points and 4 rebounds. Jordan Johnson off the bench with 11 points, 6 rebounds and 6 assists. And then for Dinamo, 15 points from Deloney Hunt, along with 4 rebounds, 6 assists and 2 steals. 13 of those points coming in the second half. And then off the bench, Ivan Novicic with 11 points and 3 rebounds. So Deloney Hunt having more of a game like we expected from the second leading scorer in the ENBL this season in the second half.
Yeah, Deloney Hunt leading all scorers with 15, and he's got it going in the second half. But on the other end, the reason Manchester have been so effective is they've been more efficient. PJ Smith, in only 17 minutes of play, has 10 points. Max Jones has 13 in only 18 minutes of play. And you look at other guys, Cal Carey in his 13 minutes has 8 points. You know, Joe Johnson, 15 minutes, has 11 points. So the efficiency off the chart for Manchester.
So back on the court for the fourth quarter. Dinamo with some work to do, but still time for them to go on a run. As Bullock gets the ball to Jankovic, doesn't drop. Osaboyan with the save. It's into the hands of Dinamo, and Hunt lines it up and knocks it down.
And Osaboyan didn't deserve that. He did everything right to keep that basketball in play, but it is a dagger blow at the start of the fourth. Can Dinamo Zagreb get within striking distance?
As Johnson answers for Manchester. And it is that 14 point mark. Dinamo start to cut in, and then Manchester just have an answer straight away. Hunt. Jankovic spinning on the baseline. And it'll be a step out of bounds, so Manchester will have the ball back.
That's twice Tim Adetukasi has played that really good post defense, sending you into a position where you turn the basketball over. As you see him just dare you to spin left, but he's too strong to just be taken up to the rim and out of bounds. It goes back with Manchester basketball. But Jordan Johnson, the party pooper once again, those fans will be saying, damn that player, you know, for making that three. And just keeping this team at bay.
Osaboyan against Bullock. Osaboyan finds a path, doesn't finish. As Hunt racing down the floor. Good hands there from Smith Jr. Just knocks the ball out of bounds, because that would have been a Hunt to the basket.
Yeah, that would be point number 17 for Hunt. Sorry, that would have been 20 for Hunt. He's now on 18 points.
Hunt passes over and foul on the shot. So 2 free throws for Imran Pulatak and Dinamo. Pulatak with 8 points today. Been averaging 12.5 this season for Dinamo.
I would say Dinamo Zagreb played really, really well in the second half, but it just amplifies how well Manchester have been playing. Still 16 points to the good here on the road.
Yeah, and certainly a 31-point first quarter from Manchester to Dinamo's 17. That was where they were just able to edge it and kind of did the damage.
Yeah, and if you're Manchester now, you've shot the basketball pretty well and you've had your spells, but do you slow the game down? I would say no. Play with what your identity is. Shoot the open shot, let the chips fall, and maybe extend this lead back to 20.
Smith Jr. hands over to Adetukasi. Jones to the basket, scoops it up and in.
That was nice.
And Max Jones now up to 15 points. Dropped 22 against Bristol in the Super League last Friday for Manchester. The team's leading scorer this season. As Smith Jr. finds a path.
That was exceptional, because Smith Jr. shouldn't have really had that basketball. It was tossed across by Max Jones. 2 players for Dinamo Zagreb are right there, and he just put the Jets on. Knife down the middle of the defense. Beautiful play by PJ Smith.
Hunt takes it. Bullock has it. Hunt keeps it inside. Bullock lines up a 3. Shots off, gets the rebound. Savic. 6 seconds on the clock. Savic will take it. It's too strong, but ball's tipped. And Pulatek whistled for the travel.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you're after consistency, they've called that travel every single time. Watch. Yep, excellent call. As the big man shifts the right foot there. Referees have been great tonight because we haven't really noticed them. And that is a sign that they are doing the work in the background and keeping this game flowing. I act like I know what I'm talking about with referees as well. I love that.
Have you ever been a ref, Jason?
No, I've thought I had in games as a player. I thought I had, but no, credit the officials.
It's a very tough job. As a long three goes for Dinamo, and that is a much needed 3-pointer.
Wow, that was from a long way out, and the reason that the 4-point line is being talked about worldwide. Big time shot.
As Carey looks to answer, can't get it to go. Nicholson has it. Adetoukasi. Carey stops, pulls up at the foul line, in and out. As Hunt leads the way.
Max Jones just slowing it down here, so they have elected with 6 minutes and change remaining to just slow the tempo down.
Smith Jr. to Adetoukasi. Jones, and ball is out of bounds, stays with Manchester.
Not sure if it's off the foot of the defence. If it is, it will go back to 14 seconds. As for now, they're keeping it at 7. Yeah, it was definitely a kick ball, so will it reset to 14? Doesn't look like it. Looks like they're going to stay with 7.
5 on the clock. Smith Jr. dishes off to Nicholson under the basket, double teamed, and the ball's loose, so Dinamo get it back.
Smith Jr. did everything, and as he threw it to his buddy, it looked like he had margarine on that basketball as he just didn't connect and didn't take the easy score. So 16 points. It can be done.
It certainly can. 6 minutes.
Can be done.
Just under 6 minutes. A lot of time left in basketball. 5:55 to play in the fourth.
I just know the danger, Caz, is that Manchester can just keep ticking over and make a tough shot here and there.
Hunt. Savic drills another 3, and it's down to a 13-point game. Jones to Adetoukasi. Adetoukasi has some space off the Nicholson screen.
Yeah, had a notion twice of shooting the ball.
Jones steps back, fading away, nails it.
And that's what I'm talking about, because that is a tough shot. It's a hand in his face, it's late shot clock, but you have a couple of bailout players now in both Max Jones and I would say Kayam Cleary on the floor that can make those shots late shot clock.
As Savic. Blutak, and doesn't get the roll. A big rebound for Adetoukasi. As Manchester up 15. Jones against Savic. And backcourt violation. So Dinamo possession. Good hands there from Emil Savic, just knocks the ball into the backcourt, forces the ball to come off Manchester though.
Coach Matthew Watson still getting after his players, wanting them to play till the final whistle as the 3 goes down for Dinamo Zagreb, and now we are within 12.
And Avdilovic making an impact off the bench.
Yeah, maybe he should have been out there a bit longer. We can always say that if a guy makes a few, but the 2 threes he has made have been from really, really long way out.
And Lucas Avdilovic made 7 threes against Tindastól, so we know that that's a shot he can make. Leads down to 12. Johnson. Nicholson going all the way to the basket.
That was really, really nice how he caught the ball and put it down on the floor. Got his feet under him quickly. Not an easy skill for the big guys to do.
Blutak takes it himself.
Now he makes 1.
And Dinamo rolling here in the fourth quarter. A 16-11 run. Johnson shot spins out. And Dinamo with a chance to cut this down to single digits. Hunt against Johnson.
Hunt must go here and must apply the pressure. He does.
Shots off the back iron, and Adetoukasi with another rebound for Manchester. Up to 6. And Adetoukasi's done a really good job of crashing the boards. As an interception from Dinamo. Savic has Hunt, and a whistle against Manchester, so that'll be the second team foul.
Yeah, it's going to be on the floor, but one of the things that Manchester do have within their advantages, Adetoun Kassi can handle the ball in the open court, and he's guarded by a bigger player, so it will take the pressure off Jordan Johnson and Kayam Cleary as the captain comes back in. But for me, Adetoun Kassi now goes out, but Zach Irving now even can handle the ball and get it over in the midcourt.
As Hunt splashes it in from outside, and coach Matthew Otten wants a timeout for Manchester as it's an 8-point game. Manchester with a lead of 19 earlier on, and Dinamo have just been chipping away into this lead, and they've been led by Delonnie Hunt, a huge 21 points, leading the way for Dinamo.
Wow, well, what do we know sat here? This game never ever surprises, and they have hung on for dear life at times.
So just over 3 minutes to go as the ball goes out of bounds, and it's Dinamo possession. So coming out of that timeout called by Manchester, Dinamo with a chance to cut this down even further. Dinamo were down 19 points earlier on. They've made it an 8-point game. 21 points from Delonnie Hunt. As Savic looks for some space. Avdilovich, it's off the rim.
He was the guy that you didn't want to leave open. He's made a couple of long shots from outside as the foul is called, but Manchester really dicing with death right here. 76 plays 84, and
a 19-11 run for Dinamo this quarter.
you would like to think, if you are the men in white, it's just a step too far for the home team, but credit them for fighting their way back into this one, and it gives them a chance nevertheless of
Johnson
upsetting the apple cart.
Into Nicholson. Nicholson can't get it to go as Savic stops and racing all the way to the basket. 2 free throws to come, and Imran Polutak goes to the foul line. Fouls on Manchester and Nicholson.
Polutak has come alive with the outside 3 ball and then playing good defense and running down the middle of the key. Could have easily been an and one of those that he wanted back. He probably should have made it.
Polutak with 12 points, shooting 50% from the free throw line today, making 3 of 6. 4 rebounds and 3 assists. First is good. It's a 7-point game. A chance to make this just a 2-possession game.
So we saw in that first half Dinamo Zagreb go back into the 3-2 zone. I think they're going to play as much pressure basketball here as can be and stay in man-to-man as they do.
As Johnson gets the handoff.
Johnson with a mismatch.
Johnson round the outside. Johnson throws it up to Osaboyan. 4 seconds on the clock for Manchester as Irvin puts it up from outside. Doesn't drop.
That is Gabe Osaboyan in a nutshell. You know, as an NBA guy, he comes over But the thing I love about him is willing to do all the little things it takes to win. That offensive rebound is, well, as good as an offensive rebound. He's absolutely huge at this part of the game.
Gets Manchester a fresh 14, but they can't capitalise. And Dinamo racing down the court, out to the corner. Savic off the rim, but Hunt with the rebound. And Avdilovic hits and a huge shot for Dinamo. It's a 4-point game. Avdilovic on fire in the second half. Just a 2-possession game after being down 19 points earlier on. And Dinamo have fought their way back into this.
Kind of wondered why Max Jones shot that ball so quickly. It was contested in the corner. As you see him pick up the foul, and it allowed Dinamo Zagreb to come back offensively. And that is the reason that it's a 4-point game. Nearly had a turnover there from the out of bounds.
Johnson. Manchester can use the clock here as they draw the foul, and that's the 5th on Dinamo. So that puts them in the bonus for the rest of the quarter with 1:32 to play.
Johnson going down, looked like it was knee to knee. Yes, it was. And that hurts, especially when you hit those big guys. It's better than a twist, so he should be okay.
Johnson with 14 points off the bench for Manchester. Just an electric guard when you watch him play.
Just, I often wonder how guys can play that, what looks like slowly, and still be quick. It's a real skill. He never looks out of control. He never looks like he can't get anywhere on the floor. It must be exceptionally hot in this building because we never see him break sweat. And
So 2 free throws to come for Johnson as he hits the first.
I mean, that's like you're in your garden just practicing shooting. It looks like no pressure whatsoever.
He's hit big shots for Manchester this season when they've needed him to. I think he's a player that really thrives under pressure as he goes 2 of 2 from the line. Leads back up to 6 for Manchester.
I mean, I'm sure he's aware of everything on that basketball court, but the way he plays looks like he's not aware of anything but just having a great game. And he just, in this last, I would say, 10 games, he's done just that.
Johnson up to 16 points, and it's a 6-point lead. So time left on the clock for Dinamo. And you've got to think, do they look again for that outside shot? It started falling for them after only hitting 1 early on. They're up to 11 made threes. And we know they've got the shooters out there, so do you look for that, or do you just try go inside and just get some points on?
Well, any quick scores will help, but threes will be the cherry on the sundae if they can get a couple of those to go. But Manchester, all they have to do is keep rolling. I would think that Coach Matthew Watson will go offense for defense. He'll probably get Kyle Carey back in there on the defensive end and Max Jones back out there on the offensive end. But I'm hoping for all those Manchester fans that this has just been one step too far for Dinamo Zagreb. But haven't they fought well? They
certainly have, and a win for Manchester would secure them home court advantage in the playoffs. Dinamo Zagreb have not lost a home game in the ENBL this season. They are 3-0 so far.
So are we going for time for... Are we going for
overtime? Anything can happen. 1:32 to play. Can Dinamo make this a single possession game? Avdilovic back to Hunt. Hunt against Irvin. Jakovic to Hunt for 3. Fouled on the shot, and Delonnie Hunt will go to the free throw line. And 3 shots to come. That's a big opportunity for Dinamo.
Well, if we were ever in doubt, they turned down about 5 2-point easy shots. And it looks like a kick out. I mean, it's one of them that you probably would contest if you could. I think they've already had a contest early in the game, so can't do it. But smart play by Hunt to draw the contact, and you would put your mortgage on him making all 3.
So Hunt hits the first, averaging 23.6 points a game this season for Dinamo. As he gets the second.
So we looking, he's making this next one, and we're looking at a 3-point game.
And we spoke about him pre-game, but Delaney Hunt, an out-and-out scorer for Dinamo, as he goes 3 of 3 from the line, and it is a single possession game. 1:18 to play. Jones to Johnson. Manchester had a 19-point lead earlier on. Johnson shaking and baking his way to the basket. Shot short. Osaboyan with the rebound.
Osaboyan.
And foul on the floor.
Oh my goodness, Osaboyan is single-handedly holding this team at bay. 2 offensive rebounds or fouls picked up because of them.
And how many players does he have around him? He makes those rebounds that are so difficult. He's just able to position himself so well.
And on that basketball court, in terms of height, they haven't got Matt Nicholson out there, so Osaboyan undersized but not undermined by any means. This one will keep it at a 2-shot game. Can he make it?
And doesn't get the second. Dinamo with a chance to tie on this possession. But Johnson has Johnson intercepted it. Manchester get it back as Jones can use the clock. Jones round the outside. Jones pulls up from deep. It's off the back rim. And this time Dinamo can attempt to tie. Novicic. Jankovic needs some help. All alone under the basket. Avdilovic, he has come up big here in the second half for Dinamo. As a foul called, it's going to put Max Jones at the free throw line. But Lukas Avdilovic with a huge basket cuts the game to 1.
We are stunned here in Dinamo Zagreb. These fans watching this basketball game will be so proud of their team. Can they pull off a momentous comeback here in the ENBL and remain undefeated at home? Max Jones steps to make the first. That will calm the nerves slightly, but still, if he makes this one, only a 1-possession game. Plenty of time, Caz.
Certainly is a lot of time, as Max Jones shooting 82.4% from the free throw line this season in the Super League. Makes it a 3-point game and a timeout called. So with 22 seconds left, Dinamo can hold for the last shot here, Jason. Now, is that something they want to do, or do they want to try and get a quick score?
The emphasis for me is, do they advance the basketball? If they advance the basketball, it goes to 14, and they have to go quicker. However, they also have to speed up the game anyway. So do you trust in your offense? And if you miss, then at least allow a foul to be called, or do you run it down and try to go for overtime? I would say in this position, you have to go quick, and you even have time to get a 2 and then a 3 or a 2 on the next play.
Yeah.
But definitely one thing that must happen is that Hunt has to have the basketball. If he does and he's doubled, then he kicks to an open shooter. If not, then you would trust him and his hefty point output today of 24 to create something good.
And they have the shooters out there. Hunt having hit 3 threes today, and then off the bench, Lukas Avdilovic also with 3 made threes, but also again that basket to cut it down to a 1-point game just a couple of plays ago.
It was a really good cut because he's made 3 after 3, and then he was just overplayed on the weak side. Everybody fell asleep as he snuck back door. But if Manchester can hold on, they will be buying the drinks for Gabe Osaboyan tonight. He's just kept a minute down the stretch.
So Dinamo will inbound, and it'll be 14 seconds on the shot clock. Hunt will get the ball in. Savic. Novic from the top of the key doesn't get it to go. And ball is going to go Manchester's way.
Offense to defenses. Jordan Johnson really denied that basketball well from Hunt. He wasn't allowed to get hold of the ball at any time there, and that allowed Manchester for someone else to heave up a 3.
And Dinamo will pick up full court. 14.9 seconds on the clock. Johnson, and Dinamo will foul straight away. So it takes about a second off the clock.
So this infuriates me. Yes, you hang on to the basketball. I think it's an American thing. And you keep it and you get fouled. But for me, move the basketball, run the shot clock down, get that one so it's within 3 or 4 seconds. And then when you do go to the line, the pressure is not so much on.
Just play keep
now,
away with it.
okay, yeah, Johnson is more than able of making these 2 free throws. But you don't need to put pressure on yourself.
As he gets the first.
But then again, 2 minutes ago I've said he's playing with no pressure.
You did, yeah.
yeah. I'll be quiet.
Johnson having a huge game for Manchester off the bench. As takes himself up to 18, puts the lead to a 2-possession game as the ball goes out of bounds. Hunt not able to save it inside.
That should be all she wrote here in Dinamo Zagreb and Manchester basketball. They look like they have inflicted the first win of Dinamo Zagreb here on this court in the ENBL this season.
12.4 seconds. It'll be a quick foul from Dinamo that puts PJ Smith at the foul line.
Well, they're all smiles now.
For Dinamo to take this from a 19-point deficit early on, bringing it back to a single point with just seconds remaining. They've been on a 28-17 run this quarter. Smith Jr. doesn't get the first. Second's good though. Oh, shots waved off and a lane violation, step over the line. So a 5-point game. And potentially still, the door is still open for Dinamo. As Jakovic needs to get the ball in. Savic pulls up a long 3, too strong. Hunt's there for the rebound. Kicks it out. Novicic, and that will go. It's a 2-point game, 3.4 seconds on the clock. So a timeout called here. And if you're Dinamo, you will probably look to foul straight away, take a couple of ticks off the clock, put Manchester back at the line.
Well, switch on everything defensively, leave the guy who's guarding the basketball possibly, and double someone who's going to get the ball inbounds, potentially make Manchester throw along or delve into those 3 or 4 seconds and possibly get a 5-second violation. If not, like you say, you have to foul straight away on the catch.
And Deloney Hunt up to 24 points for Dinamo. You really come alive here in this second half. Leading the way for Manchester is Max Jones on 19 points. So still a chance here for Dinamo.
Here's where the assistant coaches earn the money too. Who are your best foul shooters? Who is good under pressure? You don't want to foul Joe Johnson because he's playing in his own backyard. You really do not want to foul Max Jones, PJ Smith as well. Everyone out there looks like they can make free throws for Manchester. Or do you just let the chips fall and try foul someone who hasn't been in the game for a while?
Potentially, yeah. You also want to see if you can try and stop the ball on the inbound. If you can get that stop straight away, but as Manchester have the ball and it's into Irvin, and Zach Irvin will go to the foul line. 2.7 on the clock, so not too much time there taken off. 2.7 if Dinamo get the ball back will certainly give them a chance to get something off.
Jordan Johnson, the best guy to pass that basketball in, because while we're all saying, oh, it's nearly 5, he's saying plenty of time, and he just throws the ball in. But Zach Irvin really broke to that basketball. I would say they were around the 4-second mark and received it. So he will go to the line, and he just needs one to seal the deal.
And we have a replay, so an official review. Officials checking on the foul on the inbound to determine if it was a foul. You see there, Irving gets the ball.
Yeah. probably going to look at whether it was a play on the ball. It has to be a play on the ball.
So it is determined to be a foul. They'll put some time back on the clock, 3.1 seconds, as Irvine at the foul line for Manchester, shooting 55.6% in the Super League this season from the free throw line.
So a good guy to foul, really.
As the first one doesn't go.
Tim Adukasi hiding behind that towel. He will be praying that his buddy gets this one to go through.
So if it drops, Dinamo have 3.1 seconds to get up the floor. If not, they need to box out and get the rebound. So 3.1 seconds. Dinamo need a 3. And the ball is loose. It's picked up by Osaboyan as Manchester making a stance defensively as Dinamo not able to get anything off. And they will take the win, giving Dinamo Zagreb their first home loss of the season in the ENBL. And Manchester securing home court advantage in the playoffs with a big 91-88 win.
Well, it was exceptionally close, a little bit too close for comfort for Manchester. They didn't expect it to go down to the wire, but it did. But nevertheless, hats off. What a performance by the English team to come in here to Dinamo Zagreb and take this one 88-91. They will definitely enjoy their trip back.
And you can see Manchester hitting 13 three-pointers today to Dinamo's 10. Dinamo not able to hit in the first half, but they certainly started falling in the second. And Manchester winning the battle of the boards 43-35. And those offensive rebounds from Manchester certainly made a difference, Jason. 12 offensive rebounds, 11 second chance points to Dinamo's 9 offensive.
Yeah, they did. And those rebounds just down the stretch that Gabe Osaboyan picked up just to keep them at arm's length. But what a fight it was by Dinamo Zagreb to come roaring all the way back at home. And they made it extremely uncomfortable for Manchester.
Down 19 and cut it down to a single point with just seconds left in the fourth quarter. So leading the way for Manchester, it was Max Jones with 19 points and 4 rebounds. And then off the bench, 18 points from Jordan Johnson in 21 minutes, along with 7 assists and 6 rebounds. And for Dinamo Zagreb, Delonnie Hunt, 24 points, 10 assists, 6 rebounds and 2 steals. And then off the bench, Ivan Novicic, 14 points and 3 rebounds. So Manchester securing home court advantage in the next round. The regular season, they will finish 6 wins and 2 losses. So Manchester with a 91-88 win over Dinamo Zagreb. Jason, in their first season in the ENBL, they secure home court advantage in the playoffs. It's been a huge accomplishment for them.
Yeah, well, 3 months ago when they started off this campaign, I don't think anyone would have really thought how well they would have done. And we're still here now talking about future fixtures in the ENBL for Manchester basketball and Dinamo Zagreb. But for Manchester, a really, really special night. They will enjoy their trip. I know games come thick and fast, but it's time for them to celebrate this one this evening.
It certainly is. And for Dinamo, coming back from 19 points down to cut it to just a single point, although it's their first loss at home this season, they're a team that's really flying going into the playoffs.
Yeah, and there'll be a handful. They didn't play well in the first half tonight, but they will know that, and it's potentially just a reminder that anybody can beat anyone on any given night, and winning on the road in European competition, seldom seen, and especially here in Dinamo Zagreb.
So the final score from the Drazen Petrovic Basketball Hall in Croatia, Manchester 91 to Dinamo Zagreb 88. From myself, Caroline Bullock, and from Jason Swaine, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you soon.
Bateriju, drme malo gore dolje.